Hi.
¿Cómo está usted?
Bien, gracias a Dios.
Hola, Diego. Dieguito.
Ya no lo veo. Ya no te veo.
I'm recording. So that's the beauty of life. Sorry, guys. So we just started recording, and that's awesome. So sometimes you have to like be a little bit and retract yourself and be like, okay, this is exactly what I need to like take over Nars.
Okay. So yes, where Nervous was going was with all this and the weekends is that once you're kind of out of your element and you're not really prepared to the full extent, because sometimes, yes, you can take your food. Like I know I have certain family members, I can take my own container and they won't take it, personal. But then there's kids' parties or events that you really can't be going in with like your tub of food. And then when you do enter, they don't have a lot of variety. So you just work with what you have. But that also affects us because we're only human and we also suffer from physical hunger. And when you don't eat accordingly to the plated system or according to your physical needs, you're going to feel depleted. And I know for a fact that when I don't eat enough vegetables, when I don't eat my protein accordingly, I gravitate towards things that are not in the meal plan. And I'm more on the urge of like, I just have to eat. And you cave in. It's human nature just to do that. And that's what she was sharing, I believe.
Yes. Thank you so much for taking over. When, what happens,
Family is family. It's cool.
My husband said he was coming home late from work. So I'm like, oh, cool. I'm going to do it in the light brighting dining room. And all of a sudden, here he comes. I'm like, damn. Okay.
The plans.
Aquí estamos. So anybody else wants to share? I know, honestly, I know that I heard Maggie's, I had to text Maggie and just congratulate her because to me, like you guys have to understand, when we do something and we share it with others and it starts to work in their lives, it's almost like your kids. You teach your kids to do something and it works for them and you're like, yes, it's working. So it's a celebration. So Maggie, if you can share your victory this week.
Yes. I had a very good week. I am on a roll. Definitely beefing up my vegetables. Eating a lot more vegetables. So when you say like, oh, you like when I can relate to you when you say like the amount of vegetables I'm eating, I feel like I'm overeating, but I'm actually fueling my body in the correct way. And I'm realizing that I'm not really eating a lot of meat. Like I would assume like I have to eat, like I'm thinking like why the scale wasn't moving, because I was like, no, I need to supplement. Like I need more chicken. I need an extra little piece here. And I'm realizing, oh my God, I can live off of vegetables. And I'm doing all of these recipes and I'm trying everything and I feel like really, really good. And I keep saying it, but I struggle with PCOS and it's extremely hard to lose weight. And like I went to my OBGYN and she's so happy because like last year I was so much heavier. I was over 20 pounds heavier. And like she's like, oh my gosh, like God is good. Like you're losing weight. I'm so happy. Like you're it's so good. So it's working. So I'm going to keep it rolling.
And one of the like you said 2 points that are very important. And number one is you always think that you need meat and carbs to feel full. And then when you learn this new mindset that it's actually the vegetables that help you feel full for the longer period of time, it switches your mindset. So you look at vegetables like, wait a second, I could have all I want and never feel hungry. And the PCOS piece, I know that as women, we come across so many issues that block us from being open to change. And endometriosis, PCOS, diabetes, high blood pressure, all of those things are things that block us from accepting change in our lives because we feel like we're doomed and we're just stuck with that issue. And it's not true. Usually it's solved with food. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Hi, Mari. Hi, cutie.
Hi. I
How's it
have this
going?
little one that he's here stuck on me.
That's all right. It happens.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
what are
let's
your wins
my
or anything you want to share?
let's see. Well, I think that my biggest one that I feel proud of was not having the slice of pizza on Saturday, like I was sharing before. Everybody was eating the pizza, and I'm like, oh, I'm baking my chicken. I'll have my bok choy, and I'll be fine. And then when I had my food, my brother says, "Why didn't you feed me that?" So then everybody wanted it. So
Isn't it cool? Like they're looking at you like, but why aren't you sharing that with me?
yes. My nephew came, my brother's son, and he's 19. Well, he'll be 20 on the first, and he says to me, "You need to teach my mom how to cook like this," because he's coming like almost every day.
Oh wow. You see?
Please, you need to teach my mom how to cook like this. I mean, she cooks good, but not this kind of food.
And
So
that's something that it amazes me. How I know that in the past I was so limited in my beliefs as far as nutrition and health. I always thought that healthy eating was one, boring, it wasn't for me, and that it was bland. And it's so not the case. Like, it's just not lettuce. It's not iceberg lettuce. It's so much more. Like, tonight I had a feast. I'm like, whoa. And I'm going to post a picture about turnip fries. They're so satisfying and they're so much, like, they're so good. Like, rather than having potatoes and deep fried fries, that don't do us any good, turnip fries, I can have so much more in bulk and know that I'm fueling my body correctly and not feeding it foods that is really not going to benefit anyone. It's just going to be temporary in the mouth. You know how some things just taste good instantly, but once it kind of goes through the digestive system, you're like, why did I eat that? And when you eat good, you feel good. So I'm happy that you're sharing the wealth, as I say. And showing that it doesn't have to be boring. That's why I love sharing my recipes as far as like spaghetti squash and different veggies that I've incorporated into my kitchen, and I've made them my own with my own little flavor, but it's made it work for me. And I highly suggest for you guys to do the same. Adding new veggies and keeping your pantry fun. Don't ever get bored with the options you have. The winter time is tough. So try to offer things that you can bake more, because one, it's cold out there, so your home will get more warm. It smells good. It's more inviting. It's more cozy. So like those stuffed peppers, there's a lot of good recipes in the group as far as stuffed peppers, the zucchini boats that I've made before and I've shared. The turnip fries, I'll share that. It's so simple. I believe they're there too. So there's a lot of things that you can recreate in your own, that you don't need to feel like my life is over. I can't enjoy food. We only have one life to live, so might as well enjoy it.
And I know that we have a few. I know Lady Lean just joined us. Lady Lean, how are you doing this week? I don't know if she can tell.
I'm doing good after the stomach.
You had
You
the
know what
stomach
happened
bug.
to me? That I bought a a salad. It was raw veggies from Trader Joe's, which I don't recommend it to any of you to buy it. That gave me a stomach bug. So maybe they didn't wash it or anything, but just keep that in mind.
I
But
heard
yeah,
something about iceberg lettuce. Not iceberg lettuce, the other one, the one
the
romaine.
romaine.
That something's going on with the romaine lettuce. So what I'm doing is I'm triple washing it, even though it comes in a bag that says triple, like it's been washed. I still go through
Oh,
the process because it looks like there's some types of bugs or something. So yo la dejo, like I put in the tub de lechuga, and I'll just let it soak there in water, and then I rinse it 3 times to make sure
ah.
that anything, I don't know, that gets out of it.
So yeah, I'm gonna do that because it was horrible. But talking about getting full with the vegetables, spaghetti squash. Oh my god, that's like my lifesaver.
I'm so
That
glad.
thing is like freaking eating pasta, and I'm so full. Like I feel like, oh my god, are you kidding me? But yeah, I like that option that we have of eating a spaghetti squash instead of a pasta, and you get full, and you don't have to deprive yourself of eating other food that you love, like pasta and what else? That's it. That's all I have to say.
And you know what the best part is? That when I discovered spaghetti squash and when I journaled, I realized I'm having a feast that I would feel guilty for because it had the mozzarella cheese, the protein. It felt like pasta, like legit pasta. And the next day I would have a drop. And the next day I would have a drop. I'm like, this is my super veggie. So when you
Nice.
find that vegetable that works for you and that you love and that it works with the scale, by all means, like, recreate it in different ways and make it work for you. So I'm
You
happy.
can forget kale.
You know what? Kale is not that bad if you put it in soup, and I actually blend it in the Shakeology because the texture of it with me, it's kind of picky. I've also
Yeah.
had them in, like, chips because I need crunch. I don't like the bitterness of it, so I have to hook it up in the oven somehow.
Oh, okay.
I don't like it raw.
Me
What
neither.
I
And
was
I've tried
gonna say,
sauteing it too, and I don't like it so much.
I was going to say
bien
also
picadita.
it's important when possible to plan out your foods in a way where you know what to expect or what you're having. So like this week, I was really looking forward to a few items that I bought at the supermarket. One of them being acorn squash. The other one being this like steak ribs. I wanted like I had ideas in my mind of things that I wanted to do, and they weren't working out as good. So I planned my way like so that I knew, okay, so I know that the acorn squash is an FFC, so I can have it for dinner. Um, so what I did was I cooked the steak and I did it stewed like my kids like it, Dominican style, and I did it for dinner last night. But I knew that if I was going to have it, I wanted to enjoy it. So I was going to make it, but I wasn't going to eat it yesterday. I was going to save it for today. So today at lunch, my plan was to have the steak guisado with the acorn squash, because I could just imagine how delicious that's going to be. But it just so happened it didn't work out that way, because then I was not home and I didn't have access to my acorn squash. So I kept my my steak because I was stuck on it. I'm gonna have my steak, but now I had it with the fries that the turnip fries. And that was like still very satisfying. And I think next time I'm gonna do it mashed, like garlic mashed. It's gonna be exotic.
What is the fries that you post on Instagram?
They're turnip fries. Like, you know that it's like a purple vegetable on the outside. Parece un rábano.
I'm gonna bump up a video. I've done them before in the summer.
It's good.
It's really good, and I've also had them raw. I've become like very,
It's not jicama?
no, jicama is even better. That's like a different love.
Oh.
But the turnip is purple. I actually like the color. I'll post a picture.
It's like
Okay,
half
thank
purple,
you.
half white.
Yeah, so like now it's cold outside and the weather doesn't lend itself to eating a lot of fresh foods. So like that's what I do. Like I try to eat more heavier, and then I went with the zero noodles. So what I'm trying to let you know is be adventurous. When you go to the supermarket, look for things, and if they look awkward and they look weird but they look interesting, you're like, let me take this. Take one item and experiment with it, because you'll discover that your taste buds are going to actually enjoy that. And that's what I wanted to share. We have another success today, which is Belleza con Propósito, aka Rossetti. Rossetti started this week, right, Rossetti? How has it been going?
It's been really good. Yo me siento súper excited porque ya rebajé 3 libras. Dirán, wow, no es tanto, pero de verdad que me siento muy bien con el cambio que no solamente estoy sintiendo con las 3 libras, sino conmigo misma, la rutina de mi diario vivir, la comida saludable que estoy tratando de comer. Es un cambio totalmente de la A a la Z, que no solamente es un plan para tú rebajar, sino yo creo que es mente, cuerpo, alma, y espíritu.
Ujú.
Todo, es un con todo.
Yeah.
Es un tonto. Maggie, do you understand? Because I think Mary understands, Cynthia understands, and Lee understands. Yo no sé if Maggie. I know Maggie.
Yes,
you
yes.
do.
My husband is translating. My husband speaks Spanish, so that's
Oh,
why.
well, no, but I can talk
Okay.
English. It doesn't matter. Don't worry. I
We're
can
very
speak English.
Spanglish. We're
Spanish.
Spanglish and we forget easily. But hey, it's a love language. We can just, we'll understand each other.
You feel it.
You can feel it in us, in the voice, right? In the tone. And we speak a lot with our hands.
Yeah.
I get emotional. So I don't know, guys.
I have a question. Oh.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Okay. Oh my god. So, what do you guys recommend? Do you guys recommend recovery for dinner? Because that's what I'm having, but I don't know if it
Recovery-
will affect me because of the sodium.
No, it's fine. Actually, recovery, if you look at the carbohydrates, it's actually a really good mix. It's a perfect protein serving. So you can have it for dinner. I've had it some nights, especially after this beautiful 80-day. So share Norris the whole thing with, well, you can have it for dinner with strawberries, but there's a way. There's a pudding that you can make, and you can just, it's very easy. You put some water in it and you kind of make it in a pudding, and you can dip strawberries in. But you know that the protein is the recovery, and then strawberries would be your FFC. So you can have that as your after workout, let's say, if you want that, and then have, that's a good breakfast.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking about adding the spinach.
You can add
to it.
spinach. I've never done it, but I believe that others have. Girl, you know what I've done sometimes? When I was on Coeur de Force, and actually I will do like Shakeology, and I will put Recover right in it, and then I will have my spinach inside of it. What I've also done is the powder. I've done a lot of crazy stuff. Like the yogurt in the morning, I've put in some Recovery too, because it's extra protein. Mm-hmm. How many of you are doing the full? I know that Rosetti's not doing the workout. Maggie's not doing workouts. Maddie is. Okay, how, those of you who are not doing the workouts, are you looking into the BOD to check in for any recipes or taking advantage of any like flow exercises? If at any point you feel like you have a little extra energy and you feel like dancing, you can go in and check it out if that's something that you're looking for. Because there are lots of recipes back there that I want you to make use of it, And also PIO is a very good program. It's going to keep you belleza con propósito. PIO es un ejercicio para estrecharte. Es algo que tú no te sientes que hiciste nada, pero a la misma vez you feel so good when it's done. You're being so kind to your body.
What's the name of it?
PIO.
PIO. Okay.
She's actually our Rubia de Oro, Nervous and I. She's the first woman that she gave us our first transformation. She has Shailene Extreme, a 90-day program. She's also the creator of PIO. She's amazing. Turbo Fire for cardio fanatics. But PIO, I found that when I got injured from my left shoulder, when I would feel kind of stressed, because exercise for me is not so much for the physical, it's so much more than that. It's like the sweat and the happy endorphins and clarity of mind. So PIO, yes, is not strenuous, it's not crazy for the body, but you still feel like you're doing something for you. It's like your me time. It's extra credit. So PIO is really good. And if you have the sliders from 80-Day Obsession, I highly recommend for you to do that. If you need an extra, it's not that we feel like we need extra, but let's say on a Sunday when you want to stretch, put on PIO instead of Autumn. Like there's so many other options, like yoga, retreat. I don't get tired of saying this girl, Elise from yoga. Oh, she's good. She is amazing, guys. She's just amazing. I loved her. You can find all of the yoga here, and let me go. I'm going to share the screen here because I want you to take advantage. Sometimes we have things and we don't know the blessing and the treasure and the gifts we have until we like, oh, I didn't know that was there. So here's the thing, right? you have, when you go into your programs, you look for Beachbody Yoga Studio, and anything that has to do with yoga is listed here. So, for example, I recommend day 1 of Chill and Flow. That's with Elise. She's my favorite because she speaks positive affirmations and her body is kind of inspiring. Like those are goals for me. Then also you see here, it says Get Centered with Elise. So it tells you the name of the trainer, and I've already made a connection with her. So those would be some that I go back to. If you're looking for like a post-workout, after one of your workouts that is strenuous and you need that extra stretch, go in here and do that. If you had a horrible day at work and you feel like you want to eat, you want to cry, you want to release the stress, release the tension with faith, so just movement and releasing. And here again, Blissful Power Flow with Elise. I promise you, you're gonna come back to me and you're gonna go, oh my God, Universe, thank you so much, because it just gets you in the mood. It gets you, like if you went to a studio and you took a yoga class. And then of course you have the trainers, which Norris was talking about, which is La Rubia de Oro, which is over here, Shalene Extreme. When you click on her, you're gonna see all of the programs that she has ever created. And she's part of the Yoga Studio collection, so you'll find her there, but you'll also find Payo.
She's literally my therapist. She's the one I started with actually January 22nd of 2013.
And we did she's amazing. So she's another one that speaks life into your soul, seriously. And those are things that at this point in our journey, we want. We want to be very careful of what our ears listen to. We want to be very careful about what we believe, because if you believe whatever you're listening to, whatever you're allowing your body to do and feel, is exactly what you're going to end with. So be very careful, very jealous about the voices that are speaking to you, against you, and for you. Don't accept everything that comes your way. And just know that, let's say, for example, you'll start noticing that people are noticing changes in you. And they'll be like, cuidado contigo si tú te dejas poner muy flaca, because you're going to start looking sick. And you do not have to be disrespectful, but you just got to let them be who they are. And inside of you, you say, I am worth of all of my health. I am worthy of taking care of me. And don't accept everything that people tell you just because they're telling you. Like, be proud of yourself. And sometimes be even careful of who you tell your deepest changes. Because you might be celebrating your victory and they're like, ay, ¿qué? 5 libras, 5 pounds. Like it's nothing to them.
And also be ready. Be ready when you start a journey or when you're right in the middle of it. I think it never stops. There's a lot of people that want to see us fail. Unfortunately, that is the world that we live in. So they want you to self-sabotage. So this is why it's so important for you to, all of us actually, to always have present the reason why we started. And never forget your why. And have that as a kindly reminder. It's not based on what other people think, not based on things that were told to you in the past. It is why you started, because it can get really crazy when people start kind of giving you cake. I have a really close person to my life where her husband is like her worst enemy, unfortunately, as far as food. There's a lot of food shovers. Some people know how to show love by feeding you. There's a lot of different languages of love. So we need to be very careful and protective of us. And the best way to do that is always remember that just because you're putting yourself first doesn't mean that you're being selfish. It just means that you need to give yourself the love that you need, that no one else can give you but you. And no one can take that away from you. We are not a microwave. And I'm going to post about that one day, because I am not a robot and I am not a microwave. I have feelings. I just don't put a button and I automatically released all this weight and have kept it off. It has taken daily commitment, consistency, dedication, a lot of failure, a lot of sweat, a lot of tears, a lot of unlayering. that no one has been able to do that for me, just me. And trust me, I've paid for physical training. I opted for a lot of pills. I was very much interested in surgery. Not that I'm against it. Maybe in the future I will do so. But all I have to say is that we are working towards long-term health, which only means that it's going to take the actual work, the nitty-gritty part of life, not so much of going into the fast driveway and ordering. No, you actually now are going to have to start thinking of, what does my body need today? What kind of fuel can I give it so my engine can be at full capacity? Not so much eating to fuel an emotion or to make others happy or feel comfortable just because I need to fit in. So be proud of your decision, but also be very clear as to why you're doing it. And I want you to make sure that it's because of you and no one else, because then no one can take that away from you.
That's the truth. I just realized I have a conversation going on one of my posts. Somebody posted and told me, "Why are you killing yourself?"
Do
I've
the
lost
egg
weight with the
diet.
egg diet. I was like, I was
At a what?
first of all, la dieta del huevo.
They told her, why don't you do the egg diet? I just came across it. Why don't you do the egg diet? It's easy and you don't have to kill yourself. I've lost weight. But I love your response. You're like, because I don't like eggs. In all honesty, the weight loss is great, but I want overall health and balance, with food and workouts. I love that answer.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was actually really good because I probably would have answered a little bit differently.
No, it's hard, because it's like, oh my God.
No,
Pero
some days I'm like,
It's too polite.
very good. Super good.
No, but then I'm like, okay, what about cholesterol? Like a lot of egg yolks. Like if you're eating, it depends. Like right now, like that's been my battle. I've never had cholesterol, and I posted in our group.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I know that was cute. Yo el año pasado I went for my physical, and I got like smacked with the results that my cholesterol was high. Fortunately, my doctor was like, I feel you're too young for medication. I think you need to take control. And like I shared with you ladies, I took control for a few weeks. And then I was like, el mismo stress. And I'm like, oh my God, yo soy una mamá soltera. I'm going to die, because that's what I was thinking. I was like, I'm going to have a heart attack. And the Oreos started coming in hardcore, and I was just, I'm like, and I would tell myself, instead of stalking all these health pages and all these health gurus and you girls, and if I was doing something more than just looking at the pages for myself, I would have had control sooner. But I feel fortunate that at this point, I did start, like an hour late, I spiraled out of control a little bit. But after almost a year of battling it, I'm working and I see changes. Like I shared, as soon as I had my first call with Uniris, I was like, you know what? I know that I'm going to change because I felt the connection with Uniris, and I had been following her for a while, and I knew it was just more than a quick fix. And I scheduled my physical, and I did it early this year, and I'm happy to say, my numbers went down drastically. I still have cholesterol, but I know that if I schedule a follow-up in 3 months, it'll be where it needs to be.
That's
because
awesome.
And that's really, and I'm like, how much more empowering can it be? I'm like, this is something that I can control, and it's just a matter of staying focused and controlling what I put in my mouth.
And no eggs.
And it's great. And no eggs.
Those diets are so temporary. Like I lived that all of my youth of losing the 30 pounds, popping pills. I used to go religiously to this man. That one day when I see him, I think I might just throw up at the look at him. He would look in my eye and just tell me the foods that I would eat. He would give me like a 15-day juice diet and a lot of pooping pills. I know, I'm sorry. But I used to recruit to all of that, lose 30 in 30 days because
me too.
I just didn't want to welcome. I lived in the world of I can't. And the moment that I had to let go of my ego and say, you know what? All right, what are you doing now? It's not so much about you anymore. You have 2 kids, a husband, and a life that you need to live. Now what? Mm-hmm. Right? So it was so much more than the, the fast results. It's life.
Yeah.
So I had to I had to grow up, and that shit was scary.
And you want me to tell you a scary story? Me too. I've done from pills to, untate caca de gallina. No, I'm just kidding.
Ay, la sopa de so many different soups.
Repollo. I
Oh,
did that one.
no. I used to go to un doctor ciego, couldn't see me. He had a nurse with him to inject me B12 and give me a bunch, like, fen pills. And I look back, I was like, oh my God. Like, instead of getting my butt into eating right, like stuff that when
No,
you
a
look back
blind
now,
doctor stick a
a
needle.
blind doctor.
It's all right. I
sticking
landed in the
needle.
hospital and I missed the Broadway show Rent. Back in the day, there was something called hydroxycut
Oh,
that
yeah.
baseball players
It's
died.
still on.
I was over maybe 190 at that time. I was in college. I was just desperate. And I'm like, oh, let me just do this. Nobody needs to know, because I was also very shy. I didn't want to go to the gym. So that's why I'm going to post one day, I am not a microwave. No, I'm not a robot. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So, hi, Eunice.
Hi, Eunice.
Hi guys, sorry I was a
Hola.
little late taking
No,
care of the family.
No, it's all good.
And
It's
my
all good.
alarm, I kept snoozing my alarm. I'm a snoozer.
You're a
I
snoozer.
snooze my alarms, and I have alarms for a whole bunch of things now.
Isn't that nice, though, that you're organized? Look at you.
I'm trying.
I love it.
But it's funny. I caught in, I guess, at a good timing. But I relate to all those things. I did not try a ton of, like, I never tried pills. Um, but this summer, I was at one of my husband's baseball games, and somebody was like, "Hi, Mira, what's your number? I have to send you this." She does a 3-day diet and the 7-day diet, back to back to back, and alternates. And she's like, "I got so skinny once, my husband told me to stop." I'm like, and I said, "Yeah, let me see it." It was like, eat a hot dog. I was like, "Yeah, I don't eat hot dogs ever. Like, that's disgusting." Like,
yeah.
and it's true. Like, for example, no matter what, I was like, I don't even let my kids eat hot dogs. Like, I'm like, a hot dog? That's your meal with a cracker? Like, I was just like, oh my God, like, eventually I think those things do catch up. Somehow, like, that can't be healthy. You're tricking your body into doing something temporary.
It's temporary.
I do agree, I want to be stronger in the process. I never really had an issue with my weight, but in my case, I know that it was related to stress and stress and more stress, and I'm working on it, but um it's not easy,
Repeat
at
after
all.
me. I'm too stressed to eat. I'm too stressed
No, it's not
to
even.
eat.
I wasn't eating. I wasn't
You
overeating.
wouldn't eat?
No, I
Oh, because
wasn't
I'm the
overeating.
opposite. If I'm sad, if I'm happy, everything with me was a connection of food.
Me too. I'm an emotional
Like,
eater.
stress alone was really um there's a whole bunch of stuff. I'm like, I don't drink this, I don't buy a soda, there's nothing I had to give up like that. And it's crazy, but I was so stressed that I just didn't want to do anything. I was worrying all the time, and I really started focusing on that, and in my case, that's what's helping me.
How are the
It's
workouts going for you?
I haven't missed one, day 10, and this week, like I said, because those Monday, Tuesdays are an hour. That's no joke. I
Who you
checked,
telling?
but so I was literally dressed up, getting ready to start, and I'm like, oh man, I'm not gonna do I didn't weigh myself. Everybody's sleeping. I was like, forget it. But I actually dropped off the kids even earlier, both days, and I'm like, look at that. So it was only 3 days in a row, but um a month ago, 2 months ago, we were getting there late, and I wasn't doing shit in the morning. So
Don't you
don't
find
have
you're more focused and more energized? Because you have more clarity. I don't know. It's really
I do mine in the evening, and I rush. I'm like, I'm
God
trying to get
bless me.
some
I can't
order.
work out in the night.
You know what? I already wake. My mornings start at 5, and just try on a regular
I
basis. I'm a 5 a.m.er. So I'm like, if I wake up at 4 to exercise, I don't think I'll make it through the day.
No,
So I
everybody's
go
different.
back
Like,
and forth.
yeah.
I go back and forth, and the evening is harder because I have a toddler. So when we get home, like at 6:30, le tengo que dar de comer a él. I have my tween, and I have to feed her and then get him into the bath. But I think him more than anything is already seeing because I work out in the living room.
How
Right
old
now.
are your kids? How old are your
I
kids?
have a 13 and a 3-year-old.
Okay, mine are 12 and 4.
Oh, okay. So
And,
we're
You're kind of like very similar.
and
Yeah.
yeah, my little one would not let me work out.
I know it's
At all.
hard.
No, mine would start crying, hysterical.
Oh.
A year ago, when I started 21 Day Fix, I started it hiding in my room, and I literally at one point, I'm gonna be honest, I was crying with him
Oh, I'm sure.
because he was not
I've
letting
had
me.
those
He was
days.
crying, hanging on to me, and I bumped into him, and then he almost fell, and I was just like, and it was like,
Yeah.
I mean, I find it funny now, but it was the first day one of 21 Day Fix, which is so simple. And
Yeah.
I was dying, and I literally cried like the whole halfway. And then my husband comes home and he's like, "What's going on?" And they were like,
Because something so
and I'm like,
simple can get so
it's a
crazy.
20-minute workout. He would not let me work out. If I woke up
Yeah.
at 5, he would wake up crying for me to carry him.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. But my son out, like today was one of those difficult. My iPad was having issues connecting, um, and then my nephew wanted a hug. I mean, my baby wanted to hug me like every 5 minutes. One more hug, mom, because he's not feeling too good. And I'm like, sweetie, I'm gonna give you a huge hug, but let mommy finish. I was like, mommy's trying to get stronger, and I'm hoping, and it looks like he's getting the idea. This is mommy time. Um, so I'm hoping it becomes easier or that, or I don't know. I go to
It
sleep
does.
I
early
gotta
and wake
admit,
up
the
early.
BOD, the on demand really helped. I used to be like, I need the big screen, I need the TV. How can you do that so small? And I got it on my laptop, and yeah, I realized I don't have anywhere else to go, and I locked myself in the room in front of the bed, and I did it there.
And you
Yeah.
and you let the kids watch something, right? Because I think it's part of.
No, I left them with my husband.
But like there's a lot of people who say, "Oh, I can't work out in the afternoon because the kids are home," or "I can't do this because the kids are home at that time." And I think it's a matter of, I guess, training our kids and also showing them, like you say, like, this is my time, just like you have your time, and I respect that. So now it's my time to do this. And I think in our society, we are letting kids run families, and it should be the opposite way around, So I really do love that. I know that Sonia is here, and I see Nani. I call her Nani, but her real name is Anna. If you guys want to share something, some victories, any questions, thoughts?
Well, Nani's losing 25 pounds. I don't know if she's here.
Hey,
Those workouts are serious.
Who's this, Sonia?
Sonia.
Well, I just saw your sweaty pic, and you're surviving. We're alive to tell it.
I am.
High five.
And because you're not in a rush to compete against anybody, you can do them modified and know that the next round you can go like bigger and with wider range and all of that. So it's a matter of improving every single day, and every time you go in, it's going to be because you're getting better,
Yeah, I mean, I was getting upset because I couldn't log in earlier, and I was like, okay, why isn't this working for me? I need to get this done. I was getting frustrated. Finally got it to work.
That happened to me this morning because I had my husband actually started working out. He's very athletic but doesn't do home workouts until now, 10 days, and he's trying to like get out of it. And I'm like, no, you can do it from the iPad, but my laptop didn't want to work. And I've done everything in my kitchen because the kids sleep while I work out. So we have those moments where we're just like, and then energized and like in our system, and we're like, we just need to work out.
then I was like, okay, why are you working against me today? You're trying not to get me to do it, but I'm gonna do it. Got it done.
And you did. And that's what counts.
That's what matters.
I think the workouts they are pretty intense, but at the same time, you get to finish them because as previous workout, I was tired, and right now that one in particular from Adam is just I think it's good. What do you guys think?
Yeah, they are good. They
I
are.
personally, look, I haven't released any weight. I'm in a maintenance mode and I get it, but it's still kind of playing with my emotions. So I picked the jeans that I'm wearing today. Every Wednesday, I will be taking a picture in these jeans because they are going to be my measure, other than the scale. And it's the way that I'm feeling, that I'm loving. I'm focusing on the gains, things that I cannot put a dollar sign to. So I am more focused. I'm feeling more like tight. Like I'm liking how I'm feeling.
Me too, yeah.
Como que I'm
My
like,
back
oh.
chichos
And I
feel
don't know
great.
about you guys, but I'm looking at my butt and I'm like, oh, pero it's higher.
Less
And
chichos, yes.
less chicho, right? And then the sweat. And then I'm feeling happier because endorphins are happening. I had a while without working out, guys. So I've missed it. So my body's kind of thankful for it.
Norris is going to buy herself a Superwoman cape.
Yes.
If you know where they sell one, todos los mañana,
Authentic, like I want to look.
every morning, she tells me at 7:45 the same thing.
I'm
She's
going to
like,
get myself a cape.
you know, I'm going to buy myself a red cape and I'm going to take a picture like this. You
You know what it is? For some people, Uneris and I are very different. For Uneris, fitness and working out and her whatever is like that's her life. For Norris to work out, Norris has to really push herself. And I mean push herself. Like, so yeah, I'm getting myself a cape. Yeah. I'm gonna
Sounds
get
like
that
sounds like it could be a good birthday present. Hint, hint.
cape. You see? And it's in April, mommy. You know that Beachbody loves me. I'm gonna be in Mexico celebrating the 80-day
Él va a
results.
comprar un bikini con un cape arriba para que se lo ponga en medio.
Yo bikini
Get all
mando
of us should get
buscando.
capes.
That's the other thing. I am not looking for the bikini look. I just want to feel comfortable in my skin. So those are the gains. Look at the gains that
Cape, llévale un cape.
away from me. Pero un cape sí me voy a poner yo. Ustedes no me van a ver. No se burlen. Maybe we can do a Wonder Woman like party stuff.
Yeah, why don't you get all of us capes? Or we all get capes.
Why don't we take that picture like in that
And we
stand?
show up, be like, and this is what we do.
And we earned it.
Oigan, pero planifiquemos
Oh,
para
there she
abril
goes.
o mayo.
Tú ves que Lady es que Lady Ning me entiende. Uniri se burla de mí.
Oh, super, eso es super fly kids.
And I asked Adeline and Elias, and they thought that it was an amazing idea. My baby is really, he's not a baby anymore, but he's really into like the Hulk and stuff like that. So he's into superheroes. So he's all for Wonder Woman.
Adult, yeah.
All right, Lady Ning, let us know.
Adult, gracias, gracias. I don't know how you guys write on that, but that's awesome.
So we all gonna be super women.
Me gustó. We're gonna do an event in May.
No
Right,
se burlen.
And we're gonna all wear that cape to celebrate. Es una cosa grandiosa.
That's fine.
Tú ves lo que tú te estás burlando de mí, pero para mí es mucho.
Ay, Dios.
I'm earning my badge.
Ya lo saben. Bueno, mi gente, lo que sí que hay que acostarse.
Oh, yes.
Yo, I wake up at
I swing.
5:20 tomorrow.
Yeah, so let's go. I'm gonna drink tea.
I've already
I wake
drank
up
my
at
tea.
5. I can't snooze.
No snooze. Yo, but not for nothing, man. Just last statement here. I feel
Ella
like
siempre tiene que hablar más. Dime.
no, es que
Si eso es normal en ella. Ella nació hablando.
From
esto es lo único.
an outsider, from an outside, I think you both are equal.
We talk about
I really do. I really do.
We get that from my
Ay,
mom.
don't say that. Don't say
We get
Mira,
that from mommy. My mom, when she gets talking, man, y saque deito, se jodió todo el mundo.
And I'm not, and I could be related to you guys, maybe somewhere. I don't know.
Pero óigame una cosa, si Autumn Calabrese hubiera nacido con las nalgas de J-Lo, nosotras no estuviéramos haciendo este ejercicio.
Ay, hombre. Ella
I
quiere
channel my
nada,
inner
pero I
J-Lo.
don't know.
Ella está obsesionada en sacarnos nalga a una.
Con la morenita que está atrás.
Y ya la mía me salió, ve.
I know all of us are checking out our bodies more after working out with 80 Day Obsession, because I know for a fact que cuando uno hace ejercicio con esa tipa, uno siente que the abs están afuera.
Ya lo
¿Qué
sé.
abs? Yo quiero nalga. A mí que me saquen nalga. We'll worry about the abs on the other. I'll do a second version of 80
Pues
Day.
por ti es que estamos sufriendo todas. No sé.
I'm trying to make mine smaller.
Me too.
I want mine to
mine
grow a little
tight
bit.
and tight. Right?
Sí, lo que empezaste, Niri.
I want mine high and tight. Estamos hablando todavía. Buenas noches, bye.
Sí, porque si seguimos hablando.
Bye, buenas noches.
Buenas noches. Hasta
Good night,
mañana.
Good night, ladies.
Este negrito se va a la cama. A dormir. Bye.